Hey guys, my name's Angelique. I'm out here today at Smail Ford to take a look at the newly redesigned 2020 Ford Escape. This is an SEL all-wheel drive model in a Rapid Red Metallic paint, so let's go ahead and see what's new. So starting right in the front here, this is where you're going to see many of the differences on this redesigned Escape. This is a different grille, the headlights are different, the badging is a little bit different. You do get the LED headlights, of course, the black grille down there. This SEL trim does have the fog lights, and then you'll see some of this lighter coloring accent all the way throughout this vehicle. Coming over to the side, that kind of goes into this darker gray. It looks really nice with the red. This one does have the upgraded 19-inch wheels. They kind of have black accents on them. I think they look really cool, really aggressive on this Escape. Coming around to the back, you do also have your LED tail lights. This Escape badging is kind of new. It gives it kind of a new styling, new feel. You will start to see some of your EcoBoost all-wheel drive badging, your SEL. This one is equipped with the Class 2 towing package, so you do have your hitch down there, as well as your dual exhaust chrome tips on the bottom. Over around to this side, you have some of that lighter chrome accents. This one does have the dark gray, almost black roof rails on it. You have your body colored handles, body colored mirrors. Your mirrors are heated and power folding. Overall, I think this Escape looks really nice in the red. I'm really excited about the new designs. So let's go ahead and see what's on the inside. So to jump inside this new Escape, it does have the keyless entry. So as long as you have that key fob on you, you can just go ahead and reach. You'll see like little lines on the door. You can press on those and the vehicle will unlock and you can go ahead, open it up and jump inside. In addition to the keyless entry, Ford is also pretty well known for having the code on the door. So if you don't have that key fob on you at all, you can program a code, and this will actually allow you to lock and unlock your vehicle without needing the key. So that's just a really nice backup feature to have. You're never going to need to worry about locking your keys somewhere. You can always use that code. So coming inside here, the first thing I noticed is like these little designs here on the door. I think they just make it a little fun. It is soft touch, but it looks really nice and it adds like kind of some depth, a little bit of funky design to the door. This is all black with some of your lighter chrome accents, your standard handle here for your door. You do have your lock and unlock up top right next to your programmable seat positions. Coming down from that, you have your standard controls for your side view mirrors, your window controls. They are one touch up and down. You have your handle here if you need to open and close the door. Some more soft touch. Coming down bottom here, you have your main storage area. It's actually pretty deep back here. It goes all the way behind this panel. So you can definitely shove some maps or something in there and still have plenty of room. You have kind of two cup holders almost. This one will work better for a bottle or something, and then you can still put a smaller cup in there. And then just this extra little cubby, great for change or anything like that. And then you'll start to see some of your speakers. This one does have 6 speakers throughout, so you'll see those on the other doors as well. Coming inside, again, this nice black interior with a little bit of the lighter accents continues, and then you'll start to see some of your controls for your lighting. This right here is the button to pop your tailgate, so that's really nice, convenient to reach. Your standard dial for your headlights. Then you have some options here to control the brightness of the infotainment screen in front of you, so those are really nice within reach. Coming down below that, down bottom here is where you will find your hood release. So that's a pretty large handle. You just go ahead and pull and that'll pop the hood for you. Right down here on the bottom of your seat, on this driver's seat, you will see you do have some automatic seat controls. It's an 8-way power control, and you do have the option for some lumbar support, so you can go ahead and customize these seats, make sure they're comfortable for your style of driving. So now we're jumping inside. You do have the leather wrapped steering wheel. It's nice and thick, it feels really good on your hands, and then you'll find some of your steering wheel mounted controls. So starting on the left side here, this one does have the adaptive cruise control. So on the left is where you'll find your settings and your options to set the distance of your cruise control, set your speed, turn it on and off, and all of those will be right here on the left side for you. And then you do also have some volume control. You can see you can mute, turn the volume up, or turn the volume down. Behind that, you have your standard control for your turn signal. And then on the end of that is where you will find the little button to engage and disengage your road departure mitigation software. You will also see a paddle shifter. This one does have a paddle shifter both on the left and right side. So coming over to the right side, this is where you'll find most of your controls. For the infotainment screen in front of you, you see a big button that says menu. So that will bring up all the different options. You can use this to go up and down and also select your back button. And then you will find some of your audio controls. For instance, if you have a smartphone connected via Bluetooth, this is where you will find the controls to use voice command, hang up, or answer phone calls. Behind that, as I mentioned, you do have your other paddle shifter, and behind that you will find your pretty standard control for your windshield wipers for both the front and the rear. So coming over into the middle here, again you will start to notice some of those subtle design differences. The first thing I noticed when I jumped in here is of course this screen. This one does have the 8-inch color touch screen, so you can go through all your different options here as a touch screen. It's really nice, it stands out, the design looks good, and it's really easy to see and operate. Below that, you will find some of your physical buttons if you're not a fan of using the touchscreen. So you do have an actual knob for your volume control, and that is also your power button. You have your tuning knob over here for the radio, and then some of your basic controls to maybe skip songs, pause songs, and regular things like that. Below that, you will see some of your vents. I think they fit in there pretty nicely. They're kind of subdued under the screen, and I think that makes this part look really nice for your entertainment system. You will also find your button for your 4-ways right in the middle there. And then coming down further is where you will find your hub of all your climate controls. So you can use the screen to do that, but you do have physical buttons as well. This is your control for your fan speed, turn up or down. And here you have a nice little digital screen which will actually show you the degree at which you have the climate set. So that's really nice, and that also acts as your power button. This one does specifically have the heated seats as well for the driver and passenger. So you will see 2 buttons, each with 3 little lights. Both the driver and passenger have 3 different settings to activate their heated seats, and right in the middle of that you will find the button for your heated steering wheel. Below that is where you're going to find kind of your little cubby storage area and also charging hub. You can see my phone fits pretty nicely down in here. It's nice, big, open spot if you do need to store your phone, keys, wallet down there. And then tucked back inside, you will see a port. This is actually a USB-C port. So that's a little bit different than your standard USB ports. A lot of vehicles are kind of switching over to USB-C now because it's going to be more standard. So it's nice that Ford took the initiative and put that port in here. Right next to that, you will see a little cover here that says 12V. So this is going to be your pretty standard 12-volt plug. You can flip that open, and that's like your cigarette lighter style plug if you do need to plug in a charging cord for your smartphone or anything like that. Behind that, you do have pretty standard cup holders here. I think they look really nice in this kind of design pattern here, but they are pretty big. You can fit large bottles or cups, whatever you need in there. And then to the left of that is where you will find your transmission shifter. It is a knob style instead of the lever some people may be used to. So you can see you just go ahead and you rotate through those. It's pretty easy to use once you get used to it and once you adjust. So below your shifting knob, you will find your electronic parking brake. This is really easy to engage and disengage. You just kind of flip it back and forth. Below that, this is kind of your control for your hold. So if you're stopped on a hill or something, or if you're just stopped and you don't want the vehicle to drift forward, you can go ahead and engage that. So these final 2 buttons down bottom here, you'll see kind of an A with a circle around it. That is your auto start stop feature. So the vehicle will shut off if you're stopped at a red light or anything, and that just conserves fuel for you mostly, but you do have the option to turn that off if you choose. And to the left of that, you will find your button for your drive modes. This one has 5 different drive modes. You have normal, eco, sport, slippery, and then deep, snow, and sand. So you can just run through all those with that button there. Right behind that in the middle, you do have your middle console. It's a nice soft touch armrest, but if you do need some extra storage and you pop that on open, you will see it's a fairly deep storage middle console here. You do have a few little things like this little rubber gasket here, kind of. It's great to stick a pen in there, and there's also another one of those up on the lid, so you don't have to have your pens thrown around. You have 2 separate areas to store those. And then in here as well is where you will find your standard USB port. So you can see this one's a little bit different than the one up front. So you can plug in a regular phone charger or whatever you may have right here in this middle console. So back to the dash and continuing across here, you will have your black with your silver accents. You have a nice little vent tucked in here. They fit pretty seamlessly with the design of this new dash. And then coming down from there, you will find your glove box. It's a pretty big handle. You just pull that open and it'll come down for you. It is a fairly large glove box. It goes back pretty deeply, so if you need to store something in there, it's pretty hefty. You can pretty much keep whatever you need right in that glove box. Over onto the passenger door, pretty similar to the driver's side door. Again, you do have like that funky design in the door and that soft touch material. Your standard unlock and lock, your window control, your accented door handle, and then that same big storage area with 2 of those cup holders and another one of your speakers. Coming up top here, you have your pretty standard rear view mirror here. This is all black, but then it goes into that light overhead liner. I think this is a really nice contrast to the black interior. So you do have 2 of your overhead lights, which you can turn on and off with this switch in the middle here. And then you can just go ahead and pop that down, and you have a nice padded sunglass holder if you need to stick those up there and close that right up. So jumping in the back here, this is a smaller SUV, so most people that have this are probably at some point going to have passengers back here. You do get that same nice leather in these back seats, so it is really comfortable, pretty spacious. You have plenty of headroom. I'm 5'7", and you can see I have lots of room to move around back here. Again, on the doors, that same design continues. You do have that same grab handle there, another speaker in the door, your storage area down bottom, complete with another cup or bottle holder. Coming into the front here, right on the back of this passenger seat, you will find one of those little storage pouches. So if you don't have enough room for all your maps up front, you can go ahead and tuck them right in there. You have a nice little vent right here in the middle. It spreads air pretty nicely, keeps everything flowing. And then right below that, you will find another one of those 12-volt ports. So this one you flip up, and again, that's just that cigarette lighter style charging cord, so you can charge phones or anything like that in this back seat. In these seats back here, you can of course have 3 people. If you only have 2, you can go ahead and just grab this little thing here, pull it out, and that'll bring down a nice little armrest. It is nice and soft leather, but that also will provide you with 2 additional cup holders, bringing your total back here to 4 cup holders. So now we're going to go ahead and jump in the back here. Again, this is an SUV, so a lot of people are going to care about that cargo and storage space. So you can just go ahead, press the button, it'll pop right up for you. And now we're back here. You can see you do have a lot of room back here. You have some hooks here for your cargo tie downs. Right on the back of the seat, you can clearly see your tethers if you do need to put a car seat or anything. You'll notice a little handle here. That's really easy. You can pop up on that, and you'll see you do have that spare tire. Not all vehicles are coming with a spare tire nowadays, so it is nice that Ford went ahead, put that in there for you. And there's plenty of room on the sides there for tools. If you need to store extra jacks, whatever you need, you do have that little bit of extra space. Right over here to the left in the back of this Escape, you will see another one of those little covers that says 12V. Again, that's a 12-volt plug. You go ahead, pop that open, and you have that cigarette style plug. That's really great if you're at like the drive-ins or something, you're hanging out back here, you need to charge your phone, you don't have to go all the way to the front. Now, if this is not enough cargo room for you, you do have a 60-40 split with these seats. So all you have to do is come around, press your little button, and that'll fold down your headrest. Pull the button on the side, it's a little lever there. These will fold down, both sides will fold, and you can see that that gives you that additional cargo space all the way up here to the front. So that is an option for you in this Escape. When you do put these seats back up, they do have 2 levels. So if I just push it up 1, you can see that it is sitting straight up, so you can have passengers and still get a little bit of additional space back there. And then you will have to pull that lever up and push it back again to get that full recline and put the seat back in its position. So that's it for our walk around of this Escape. To close it up, you can see there's a button up top. You just go ahead, press that, get out of the way, and that will close for you. You do also have the option to have that hands-free liftgate, so if the vehicle, even if it's locked, as long as you have the key fob, you can actually swipe under and the tailgate will open right up for you. But now that we went ahead, we got our overview, let's take this thing out on the road. So as we get on the road here, you can see this navigation is really nice to have. This is on the home screen here, so it will put it just kind of small, but you can go ahead and make that your full screen if you just hit navigation. So it's always really handy just to have that built-in GPS. In addition to the tech features, this one is equipped with the 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine. There is also a 1.5 liter, so just remember that as well. But with this 2.0 liter engine, we do get 250 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. So you do have some of that little extra power, and again, this one is equipped with the Class 2 towing hitch, so it does have the ability to tow up to 3,500 pounds. So as a smaller SUV, it is nice to have those additional capabilities. So firstly, we do have that kind of lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation software. So once you do get up to speed, if you make sure that is engaged, the vehicle will actually recognize the lines and it will do its best to keep itself within those lines. So if you start to drift, it will correct and try to pull itself back in the lines. Of course, you do not want to actually have your hands off the steering wheel. You want to always remain in control of the vehicle, but it is nice to have that extra little backup. So again, with those different lanes, we do also have the blind spot monitoring. So what that means is as vehicles approach in your blind spot on either the left or right side, you'll see that little orange light come on in your side view mirrors. And that warns you, but also if you do try to hit your turn signal when there's a vehicle in your blind spot, it will actually flash kind of faster to really get your attention. That light will stay on as long as vehicles are passing in your blind spot, and then once they're clear, you will know that it is safe to move over. So it's always nice to have that little backup set of eyes, because you can't always see around everything, so it's nice to have that in those mirrors there for you. And for the third piece of technology in this, kind of just like a driver assistive technology, that adaptive cruise control. So once you do get up to speed, you just go ahead and you press the bigger button here on the left side of the steering wheel. That will engage your adaptive cruise control. You'll see that it will say set on the infotainment screen in front of you. And then you can use this knob here to kind of control your speed. And then you want to use your distance button here, and this will adjust the distance at which you want the vehicle in front of you to follow the other cars. So when you do have that distance set, you have your speed set, it will actually adjust itself to changing traffic patterns, and you don't have to constantly adjust that adaptive cruise control. Just another note about that shifter here, if you do want to use those paddle shifters and kind of engage that sportier, more in control driving feel, you can just go ahead and press that M in the middle, and you'll see that light will come on. It will say M on your infotainment screen, and that will let you know that you now have the control to shift through the gears and use those paddle shifters. So that's just another thing you'll get used to, but it is really simple to engage and disengage. So now we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the backup camera. So as we're in the parking lot, as soon as you put the vehicle in reverse, you'll see the camera pops up on this nice big screen. It's really clear, really easy to see. You have a few different lines. The colored ones are kind of straight back, but then you do have the predictive lines, those white ones. So you can see as I turn the wheel and start to back up, the predictive lines will show me where I'm going to end up. When you do get near something, like I was approaching that other vehicle on the side, it will start to beep and let you know that you're getting close to something. As you start to back up in a spot, you'll see the closer we get, it corresponds with those sensors. Once we're in the red, it'll beep faster and faster and faster. So that lets you know when you're approaching. It'll change colors, so you know that you're getting into the spot. So again, those parking sensors and that backup camera are really nice to have. They really help getting in and out of parking spots. Just a nice little additional safety feature. All right, I hope you enjoyed my review and test drive of this new 2020 Ford Escape. If you would like to check out this Escape and other Ford vehicles, go ahead and stop right off Route 30 in Greensburg, or visit us online at smailford.com.